Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to the TV Terminal. My name is Adam Vale, Senior Editor over at thecoalition.com.
And my name is Lawrence, a.k.a. Punk with Toys on all the social medias.
And here we are, episode 4 already. Man, this is flying by for
It
Dexter Resurrection, right?
There are 10 episodes, not 6.
10. That's for, that's right. Let's start
God
off.
forbid you are ever wrong on this free platform that people are watching.
Lashings now. Shame.
You get 4 lashings because you missed 4 episodes.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's right. And I mentioned it. I put in over in the comments. My apologies. I said 6. It's 10. But yeah, there we go. That was one of them. But also, real quick, before we go ahead.
As a toy reviewer, I hear it all the time when you make a mistake and like people do not let you forget it. And you know, some people are very nice about it, and other people are, well, they're not.
Yeah, no, it is true. But again, no one's has been nasty about calling these out. And hell, we asked, hey, if we're wrong, go ahead. That's fine. So it's fine. My mistake. I accept it. One of the things, though, quick housekeeping for all this, because we did get a comment that was like, hey, how are you guys reviewing it? This episode hasn't dropped. It's on Paramount Premium on Friday nights. It pops up there. And then if you have Showtime proper, cable, the whole thing, then you get to see it Sunday. So if you want to see it a few days early, Paramount Premium is how you get to watch it. Because there was some confusion. People not sure how we're watching it. It's out. That's there.
And that is something we also just discussed. Like, should we wait until Sunday to drop it or drop it right away? And again, there are people that have watched it, and I would assume that the people that have the Paramount Plus, they're going to be interested in it. They're going to be looking for people that are talking about it right away, so it helps us get a jump on it. But I we do understand. If you haven't seen the episodes yet, please don't watch it. Watch it and then come back. I don't want people to be spoiled.
I mean, we saved in the title. This is breakdown, recap, and review. Key part review. It means we already watched it. So we're definitely going into this.
We're not making up things. And
exactly.
This is what I would like to happen in an episode. That would be, that's what we should do. We should look at something that we're not going to watch and only watch the previews. And then come up with our own theory and do a breakdown of what we think is going to happen. And then once all the episodes are out, go back and watch it and see how close we are.
I'm not going to give this guy any praise because he's breaking embargo. And, part of the press can't break embargo. There's another reason why don't talk about certain characters and things like that haven't taken place. But there was somebody out there and it was like predictions for the next episode. This guy was receiving screeners and stuff, and he was just spewing everything. He was like, you know what I think could happen? I think this person would go here and this person dies and this did the whole long form like we're doing, but saying it was predictions, theories, straight up lies. The guy was just spoiling all of it, and he had tons of followers because they clearly knew what he was doing. But there's people out there.
I don't understand why. I don't understand why you want to do it.
It ruins it for you. Yeah, it ruins it. You want to have a good time. You want to watch the show. You enjoy the show. Don't do it. And that's the other little note. Just another housekeeping. Somebody talked about again. We see that Dexter meets up with Harrison. That was in the trailer, and there's some other information that gets leaked out. We're not watching the trailers. We're just talking and focusing on the episode at hand. We don't do the posts and all that stuff because most of the time they could also be misleading. They can tell you something just to get you to watch, but then that doesn't really take place in that episode. But just to keep everyone on the same page, we're just watching because the last thing we want is like, oh yeah, and then this happened, and then see people can comment, I didn't see that. My stream cut off at the end. I didn't get to watch that. Why are you spoiling it? Don't want to go.
And we have all seen trailers for TV shows and movies of something that never happens because it's cut out. A matter of fact, I don't know if you guys have MJR movie theaters where you're at.
Nope.
MJR, they show little clips and they do this little thing. Well, in those clips, they have the Avengers from Infinity War running, and it's with Hulk running. And if you guys remember, Hulk's not in it because Bruce Banner can't near the Hulk. Spoiler warning. The Hulk suit. So anyway,
there we go. So that was it. That's what's going on there. So let's get into this.
Wait, no, before we get in, I want to say this. If you like this type of stuff and you like what we're doing, please take a second, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you're notified when we drop this.
Yeah. We're doing a long form review. Probably trying not to take too much of your time, but we're having a discussion just like you would with any of your other buddies after you watch the show. It's the same thing, and you're our buddies. So that's it. We're all on it.
I also think it's funny when I have my phone here, in case something happens, and I get a notification from YouTube that you dropped a short for Revival.
What, right now?
I swear to God, I looked and it says the TV terminal was Jordan a host for Alien Lifeform.
Yeah,
I am not watching that. You and your brother are, so I don't.
That is a wild
funny
show.
It just popped up.
It's very funny because that was like days ago. I posted that. I was like,
don't worry, I get that stuff all the time for my own stuff on my my review channel. So anyway,
there we go.
Let's get into this and talk.
Let's get into this. This is episode 4. I was thinking 4. I was thinking golf. Oh man. Call me Red, and if you recall, Red is the nickname for Ronald Schmidt, who is the dark passenger, the fake dark passenger, but the one that was killing the ride share guys. So
I love that he's so mad about it. Like he's like,
I can understand that. I can understand that, but to a point. I see. I think it's just one of his reasons that he can call back and use as motivation.
If someone was going by the Bay Harbor Butcher, this was what he called himself in his own head, right?
Mm-hmm. So the dark patch, exactly. The dark patch is something he called it himself. And
you can't gloss yourself. You can't give yourself a nickname.
No,
people have to give that nickname to you.
Yeah.
And Dexter, if you hear me, I'm just joking. I know.
Yeah, but they right. Don't come after me. There you go. But but because Red is the nickname that his friends give him, but they didn't call him a dark passenger. That was the press. So he's going after him, and then even when he did get him on the table, you stole my identity, doing that whole thing. Well, no, he didn't actually. I mean,
he's not
nobody else. He should really be going after the writer who came up with that nickname. Go after him. Why'd you call him that? I don't know. It's dark. It's a cab.
It actually makes sense. He's the passenger in the ride share, and it's kind of dark, and that's how he does everything.
You can't see him. He's got that crazy hood on, so you can't pick him up in camera. That makes sense. I
gotta say, I like seeing Dexter. He's sitting there with the hood on. He's playing with the lights, looking very enjoyable. Like when I get a new action figure and I'm just kind of sitting there playing around with it.
He also looks like the Unabomber.
Yeah, I probably should have compared those two, should I?
No. Next, we'll start seeing you. That'll be the day. I see you on camera with a hood and glasses. Check out my new fig, and you're covering your face.
No, you wouldn't be able to see my face because I'd have the lights on.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It kind of reminds me of the Jawas from Star Wars.
Yeah,
you never really see their faces.
No, they just hunch over and walk around.
But that's what he's doing, and he's talking to his dad, and his dad's telling him, what a bad idea this is, and he's like, "I can't talk you out of it." And I'm thinking, well, yeah, because you're not real. And
well, here's the question, and this is for you guys out there. We all these seasons, it doesn't matter wherever, we've always seen Dexter talking to Harry, but he looks over at Harry. Do you think he is doing that for us? Meaning, do people see him looking over to no one to his left?
No, I think it's him
in his head. He's looking over.
Yeah, he's perceiving the same way that we would visualize doing skateboarding tricks. Like you visualize yourself how you do it and stuff like that. I think that's all he's doing. He's visualizing how he would be talking to his dad. He's not really talking to him in real life.
Because there's just so many times where he's out in public and he's looking over and he's talking to Harry and he's mouthing, looking to the left. And if you see him in the street, like, oh, he's either nowadays he's got Bluetooth earpiece. Back in the day, it's like, oh, he's crazy. He's talking to himself. He sees someone that's not there. He's pulling a Fight Club. He's going to hand the guy a drink. It's going to drop to the floor. So it's going to be crazy. But yeah, talking everything with his dad. Then we get that cool opening. Very cool. I love all these stylish intros that we're getting in this.
Well, we also see him doing the glue for the thumbnail, for the fingerprint.
Yeah, he's trying to, because again, this is when he's trying to figure out that they said the only proof that you need to have is your thumbprint, or a fingerprint.
Not fingerprint, but did they explain how they got it in the first place?
They could have peeled it off of some of his other trophies, because remember Charlie, she broke in, so that's what I'm assuming, that somewhere they was able to lift his.
And I'm just wondering, did we miss it? Is that something we overlooked and maybe somebody else noticed it?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if we did miss it, it was very quick when they pointed out, because then after that he was like, all right, I'm just going to make my own, and he starts showing how to make his own thumbprint, and he starts cooking, doing the whole thing, and he takes his finger and then he imposes and puts it on himself, and he's like, all right, ta-da, now I got a finger, ready to scan.
Well, that's what I was kind of wondering what he was doing too. So, but anyway,
yeah. But he's going for a ride, looking very suspicious.
But is there anyone else that wonders that this would work?
Oh, with the finger? Yeah, go ahead, people in the comments. Can this work?
Because I don't think it wasn't the finger. I think he made an imprint of it.
Well, he took the hand out from the furnace, right? And then he did something to try to get the fingerprint, because that's why he saved it, so that way he can go and try to copy it. But yeah, can that work if you put that on? I don't know. I mean, if not, it makes great TV. It seems like something that our buddy Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible could definitely pull off.
Yes, very much so.
Right? That's definitely something. I mean, those masks were amazing. I always crack up every time he peels it off. I'm like, what? How'd you do that? How did you make those masks? Oh boy. Again, that's a drift. But yeah, he's wandering around, and the first thing we notice when we're watching this, it's hot, right? You see everybody, it's sunny. Yeah. No one's wearing coats or anything. This guy's wearing this black hoodie with sunglasses. You stick out. I'm sorry, from New York. If I see that person, they're hiding. They're hiding.
I have a son. I have a son that only wears long sleeve t-shirts or sweatshirts, and I'm talking 90 degrees, 95 degrees. He's wearing a long sleeve t-shirt. All right, and I don't agree with it. His mom has harped on him about it. He's 19. Can't really make him do anything, but it's like, it is something that he does do. So there are people that do it. I mean, I see it here in Michigan. It's
no doubt they're doing it. I'm just saying that they stick out more so.
Than definitely.
It's like, oh wow, what's up with this guy?
That's going to be someone, like, if something happens, someone's going to say, yeah, there was a guy that was wearing.
Oh yeah, he's in the suspicious category. If something happens and the cop reports you, did you see anything suspicious? Well, it's like 90 degrees, and there's this dude over there. There he is, right there with the hood. Yeah. Look at him right over there.
Are you sure that's him? Well, there's no one else here, because everyone else has tank tops on.
Exactly. It's like he stands out. But well, then again, he's wearing the outfit because that goes along with his appearance, and that's what I guess they're expecting for the pickup, right? Charlie pulls up. Go ahead.
The one thing we just skip over is Harrison is getting ready with Elsa, but then he gets the phone call about the watch, and he kind of freaks out about it.
Oh yeah,
because he kind of neglected that he took the watch to get fixed.
In this part, at first I'm like, oh yeah, it makes sense. He's stressed about the whole watch. But then another part of me is like, no one else knows about this watch. I don't think there was ever a receipt, because Harrison handled the whole situation, meaning that it wasn't like, oh, we looked in Ryan's pocket and there was a receipt for a jewelry store and it was for a watch. No,
I think
it was
we've all watched enough crime videos when, hey, and then we found out about this watch. There needed, like, so I can see why he's obviously worried because if they trace it back to it, they're going to like, well, this is the phone number that we had. And he's going to say, wait, you said you didn't know him. So I can see why he's stressed out about it. I don't know why he kept the watch. I would have tossed it.
Oh, yeah.
When I got back to the hotel, but that's just me.
Toss it. Don't bring it to a pawn shop. That's the other trope, right? The cops will go to the pawn shop. Hey, anybody bring it on? Yeah, there's one kid with this short hair over here. Yeah, he came over. Here's a watch right here. You want it? $400. It's like, then it's yours. Well, you got a subpoena? No. But
okay, so now skip to where we were. So Dexter's walking around, and again, this is what Red wears. And then we see this car pull up, and then this is where he meets Charlie.
Yeah,
who is Charlize or Uma Thurman? I don't know why.
Yeah,
this is the second time I will say that it was Charlize Theron for some reason.
Charlie. They even spell it a little differently. It's Charlie.
Yes,
at least according to IMDb. That's how they have it. But
EY.
Yeah. She says, "Hey, are you Ronald Schmidt?" And he's like, "I go by Red." And then she like does a little nod. It's like, "All right, you're good." And he was like, "Yeah, I passed the first test." Maybe, I don't know if they know that he goes by Red, but hey, whatever. Because maybe in her head she's like, "I don't know what that is," because that sounded like that was an inside thing at his job. Remember, like, "Oh, we call him Red." Yeah, we know Red.
But he goes to get in the back seat, and she's like, "No, you're sitting up here."
Of course, smart. A few things. One, first, this isn't a ride share car service, and also he's known for decapitating. So come on, he is the dark passenger. Do you pick up? You're sort of asking for it if it happens. I mean, it shouldn't happen, but if it were to start happening, she's like, why didn't I think about that? That I'm picking up this guy who's known for this, and I tell him, go ahead, sit behind me. No, he rides shotgun.
Yeah. So they sit there and they talk. He asks some questions. I mean, as someone who doesn't do something like this, I do feel like he gets kind of nosy. Like, I would also be like, you're asking a lot of questions. But there are some people that, just they want to know that they have questions. And I guess with what the person he's acting as, I wouldn't be surprised. I think you'd want to ask these questions because you know what you're going to. So you just want to get as many questions as possible, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a bag of money that arrived, plus the invite, and she even says because that was all put within his collection, right?
Yeah.
And like, how did you find me? Like, oh, we find everybody. Like, we have our weights. Like, man, don't work for the police because then you'll ruin everything. You're too good. You're too good. That's a whole other topic for another day. It was like, how is she pulling this off? And who knows? Maybe they'll go into it, and that can be part of the next season. Finding those type of things out. But so to your point, he does ask a lot of questions. And the only thing I thought about is like, well, maybe you're asking, so like you said, too many questions. But what if he stumbles and then she's like, you should know some of these answers already? It's like, oh, what about another note? But
they also do a pretty good job, of him asking the proper questions, right? Like, he knows what to ask for the most part. But you're correct. Like, all she had to do is, pick something. And she tried doing that because, when we're the head of the dinner party, she has him put his thumb in, and now this is where he's worried. It doesn't work. He says, "Hey, I'm sweating," all these other things. Then he's like blowing on it. And he's very suspicious, but at the same time, even though he is a serial killer, I'm assuming I'd be nervous too because if they lock the door behind you, you may just be stuck there.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because that was at the mansion to get into the elevator. So they already added his prints to the scanning system.
There's a few things that I feel are they're skipping over some things, and they're probably in the actual draft of the reason why. But they probably said, "Hey, we can cut these things. People aren't going to."
I think it would have been kind of cool to see as he was getting nervous and he's putting his finger in, it's not recognizing, and then just see like Charlie's hand slowly move to her hip. Like, get ready to grab her. Like, I'm about to put you down, buddy. You're not who you say you are. And then all of a sudden, it goes bling, and it worked. So, and then off they go.
Did for the most part. I mean, I kind of thought she was going to be doing that too, but
yeah. there was some really cool camera work. This whole series had some great camera work, great camera shots and angles. And there's one right here. Once the elevator doors close, of course, it's the shiny metal, and we see the reflection. We could see that he's looking forward, but she's staring right at him. You could see her. It's like, oh boy, here we go.
But then we get up and Leon meets Dexter. So Leon is Peter Dinklage.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically walks up and he just strikes a conversation with him.
Very happy to see him. He's the first guest to arrive. Leon is a huge fan. And it's like, okay, all right, and this is what we always hear about with all this. I don't know, people, we have Batman, right? People could say what they want, but the guy was super rich and he was a little wacko, dressing up as a bat. He's got some mental issues. So, but hey, with his money, he built this whole empire of all these cool weapons and toys. Well, here's this guy. He's a venture capitalist. He says it right off the bat how he got his money.
Yep.
And this is what he likes to do. He likes to put these meetings, these gatherings with like-minded people, but he's open that he is just like a voyeur. He's a fan, as he puts it, a fan. He doesn't partake. He doesn't do any of these things. And then he shows the collection. Like that was pretty interesting right there.
Now you knew who the clown was right away, right?
Oh yeah. I know right away that it was Gacy because it was Pogo. I mean, that's an iconic one. But then he shows some real world ones, some fictional, like the Trinity Killer. He even had, what was it?
The hammer.
No, not even the hammer. He had the slides, Dexter's slides, but he didn't say it was from the Bay Harbor Butcher. He called them. He said it from a drifter somewhere. If in the comments, if you remember,
he said the Bay Harbor Butcher.
That's what I thought. But then I remember that when I went back, he did not. No, he didn't say the Bay Harbor Butcher.
He said the Bay Harbor Butcher.
All right, people. Hey, go ahead in the comments if you did hear that. But of course, Dexter reacts quick and starts touching. He's like, "Please don't touch." He's like, "Oh yeah," and he's like, "Oh man, I missed them." That was his collection.
Yeah, he's like, he feels that he has a connection to those things.
Yeah, the ice truck killer, his brother, the table. He had the table. How did he get all these items? That's I'm telling you, that could be a whole other series in itself. I doubt if we're gonna hear about all that in this go around. But if they decide that they were like, well, we want another season, what should we talk about? There you go. Who is the collector for Leon? Who's gathering all this? Whoever that is, the guy's a pro.
I feel like we'll have that at the end.
Maybe. Because I don't think it's Charlie. I mean, technically it could be Charlie because she's good, but I don't know. I don't think so. But yeah, either way, very interesting to see all that.
Yeah, and when he's walking them through and he's showing them everything, I'm just like, this is really something you want to show people. Like, but he trusts these people because they have a secret too that they don't want out.
Yeah, and he has dirt on them. He has all of it. So even if he tries it, and that's one of the things right there when he's in the room, Leon says, "Hey, none of that. If anyone puts in the wrong code, even once, the alarm goes off, and then you see Charlie as if like she popped out of a closet with a gun pointing." I was like, "Is that a real one? Is that?" I was waiting for something a little. I wasn't going to say tame, but it's not tame. But let's say like turrets come down, but and it just motion sensors. But it was funny that Charlie's as if like she just lives there. She just hides up in the side, and then wrong thing, and just a swivel door. Because even when he showed him the room, it was like a wine rack and a hidden button. You press the button, and the rack opens up, and then off you go into this amazing room here of all these trophies. Now, this was mentioned in the last episode when he was reading the note about you're invited and this and that, and that he's even willing to pay a little more for people to give in their trophies, to sell trophies. So even though there was no mention of money here, it was more like show and tell. I don't recall that being part of this, but hey, whatever. It's still interesting to see this, and I was interested to see what kind of characters show up.
So this is where we start to say where he actually meets everyone, and he meets with Maya, who is
she kills predators, right?
I don't think so. She
Yeah, did she kill like men that abusers and stuff? Like that was I thought that was those were her terms.
Oh,
Remember, because he was
I'm
saying
sorry.
that she has a code.
I'm sorry. You are absolutely correct. I was thinking that you were saying that she was in one of the Predator movies and killed
Yeah, you don't
predators.
remember her when she was running through the forest at the time? She didn't speak any English, right? They were in
Well,
Guatemala
that's what
and
I was
all.
like. What the hell are you talking about? Because I was gonna say she plays oh, I can't think of her name from the Netflix Marvel movies, or TV shows.
Agents of Shield,
No. The Netflix ones.
the Netflix ones.
Right now, people are going, "Oh my gosh,
Oh,
she had her
wait.
own show."
Oh, no. I know. No. Oh, she was going out with Cage, right?
Yes. Why can't we
Oh,
think of her name?
Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones.
Thank you.
Ding, 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 ding,
And she's
ding.
supposed to be coming back too, just so.
Yeah. They said they're bringing that one back. That's right. That was Jessica Jones. Shout out.
So we meet her. She's known as Lady Vengeance from what Leon has named her. And they talk about all kinds of stuff. And it's pretty interesting. She's not a huge fan of him, but it's a lot of money for her.
Yeah. She gets the money. That's why she shows up. Also Al shows up, which is
that is Eric Stone Street. And if you're like, who the hell is that? I know that name. He is the heavier gay guy from Modern Family.
Oh, wow. I have not seen him in forever.
And he is the one of the two actors that is not gay in real life.
Yeah. I remember seeing the interviews with that.
And he has a fascinating story. I got to say that.
Oh, man.
And he is very over the top, very much like his character in Modern Family. Only he has a whole family.
A whole bunch of kids. Yeah.
He just had a kid that's like 4 months old or something. And this is his outlet. And this is not, again, this isn't crazy or to think about, but there's been a lot of serial killers that they have whole families that have no idea.
BTK. He was another one. He was like, same thing, whole family.
And when people are like, and again, I'm talking about the real life, the BTK, when they're like, how could someone not know they're sleeping with them? It's their husband. Dude, there's a lot of stuff that people do that they have no idea, right? They think they're going off to work, they're going to bowl, to play darts or whatever.
So he's known as the ponytail guy, right? That's what they say. Yeah. So he kills people that have ponytails?
I don't think, unless if during the walk that Leon explains, I don't think they really say what he does.
Because they had a ponytail, and it was like, oh, this is from the ponytail killer. Yeah. And then he shows up, and then he's like, yeah, ponytail. It's like, oh, okay, that's his specialty. Because then right after that, we get the tattoo guy that shows up.
So this is Neil Patrick Harris. And this is in my opinion, the greatest gay man to ever play a womanizer in How I Met Your Mother.
Did you ever see 8-Bit Christmas?
Did you ever see? Did, and that was really good.
Love that. Every Christmas. That's one of our Christmas movies on our list.
I think I've only watched it once, and I think maybe it's time to watch. Is that an Apple TV show?
It's Netflix. Is
it Netflix? Okay.
Yep, Netflix.
But I always used to say, like, how is it that this gay man in real life, who's a wonderful actor, Doogie Howser, plays the greatest womanizer I think the greatest womanizer in TV history?
Because he's an actor.
I know, but
he has perfected the art.
But he is the greatest, and I mean that because it's not over the top. Barney Stinson is awesome. Anyway,
the spinoffs never really worked. They never really kicked off. How I Met Your Father and all that.
Oh yeah, they did do that, but that was like a Hulu one, and I know it's in the same universe. I think I watched the first few episodes, and you're right. You're just like, because who was in that? Was it Miley Cyrus or
something? But you know what? We'll talk about that when they do another spinoff, and then we'll cover that one and then goof on that because they can't let things die. Hollywood just can't let things go. Hell,
No.
I Know What You Did Last Summer just came out in theaters again, and I thought this was like a re-release. It was like, no, it's a whole new movie. I was like, what?
Well,
Why?
it's a sequel, but I thought there was already a
There
bunch
was
of
already. It was
sequels,
like, I
right?
still know what you did last summer.
Yes.
Oh boy, and I still know that it's a garbage movie. I'm just saying. I was not impressed with the whole thing. The first time I saw it in theaters, I'm like, it's a slasher flick. I went with some friends and forgot about it.
It came. Okay, so off topic here. Shocker, guys. I feel like I'm not a huge horror fan, but I Know What You Did Last Summer. Yeah, right. I Know What You Did.
I know what you did last summer.
Came off the heels of Scream, and it seemed like it was a cheap carbon copy. The same way Road Trip, which is an amazing movie, seems like a cheap version of American Pie.
But Road Trip,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, Road Trip is amazing. Okay, but I'm just saying,
funny. I got my own nickel. I opened my own hotel from my nickel. Oh, I love that scene right there when he looks and he looks at the manager. I got it. Oh, that was fantastic.
I really didn't enjoy Road Trip when they jump the car because he does all the calculations and the tires will again. This was the thing with the Dukes of Hazzard. Like, it just can't happen. And then he's like, it's just fine. We'll get it. Poof, and then it blows up.
Oh, wait a minute. Am I mixing it with Euro Trip? I think I'm mixing
you might be.
Euro Trip.
I've never seen Euro Trip.
Because that was one with Micah and the guy didn't want to go. He's like, oh, there's some dude named Micah wants to meet up in Germany. I can't do that. It's like, yo, no, that's a girl. The girl in the picture. No, that's a brother. No, Micah's the girl. He's like, oh, I gotta go. That's it. Sorry, I'm making. You're talking with Tom Green. Tom Green was in.
Yes.
There you go.
Tom Green and the other two. Well,
there we go. We're drifting again, but all right. So let's get back on track here. All right. So Tattoo Guy shows up, and we find out that his kill fetish is once he does the tattoo, he then has to kill the person that he did the tattoo on and take the skin.
Yeah.
He takes the art, right? He takes the art piece, and that's his thing.
And he does not look like Neil Patrick Harris.
I did not notice until like shortly. I think it was during the day scene.
I saw a picture on IMDb, so I knew who it was. Because Neil Patrick Harris always looks clean cut. Shorter hair, this guy has long hair, kind of like a 5 o'clock shadow, and just plays it wonderfully as he always does.
Yeah, that's a different look. But yeah, so he shows up. He's a weirdo guy, just like you said, just like everything about him. It's like, oh yeah, but during the day, I think what was it? He's an anesthesiologist or something like that. That's how he gasses them.
Yeah,
anesthesiologist. Blah blah blah.
I said that extremely slow because I actually made it work.
Screw it. Yeah.
So, but then quickly we go to Angel showing up to Lance's apartment asking about the truck.
Yeah. See.
And he tells him because I bought it, and he tells him where and who he bought it from, and that's like all that's said there.
Yeah. Well, he finds out that he was like, well, I got it from Harrison.
Yeah,
and then that's when Batista was like Harrison Morgan, and then it cuts because we already know he's putting all the pieces together. Batista over here, he's doing it.
And then we go back to the dinner party, and we see Gareth, who is played by David. I'm not saying his name, but Gareth was played Garethin in Murderbot.
Yes. There you go, doing double duty. This guy's getting some big paychecks over here.
Yeah.
He's part of 2 big shows right here. No, but he's not the Gemini, right? Is that still the Gemini? Because that was Garrett. Was that his name? Because they said they called him the Gemini. I'm wondering if that was his.
I don't know. It doesn't tell me anything on IMDb. It just tells me what their names are.
Yeah, I think that was Gemini for those wondering also, because he was the other killer that shows up.
So again, this is the type of stuff that I think is very well written. he's having dinner, and as they're passing everything around, Leon comes up and he has him open up his plate.
Well, right before that, though, we do find out what happened with Keith, because Keith is gone, right?
Okay.
Remember? Yep, they mentioned real quick. It's like, oh, we have someone new, right? And they're like, oh yeah, this is the new guy, and you all know him back, Dark Patch or whatever. And well, one in, one out, because Keith, he betrayed the group, and they don't go too much into it. I guess he told somebody. That's right. Yep. It's something like that. He did something, but they took his bat that he was using, his weapon, the same thing that killed him with that Charlie used, and they're like, well, I'm gonna add this to the collection, the trophy room. Yeah. So there goes that. But yeah, go ahead. Now get to
that. But as he's like feeding, they're feeding, he he gives him his own plate. They open it, and I'm just sitting there waiting for a head. All right, I'm the.
We both were like, oh, right? this dude's a cannibal. That's his thing. He's not a killer, but he has someone doing it for him and preparing the meat.
See, this is where I think it's smart, is that he tells them, oh, you're vegan diet. So now he knows that he can't eat meat in front of them because they all know that he's a vegan.
He can't eat meat in front. And I feel, and I'll just say it here, maybe I'll make this into a short and you'll get a pop-up. Is this what gives him away? Is this what gives Dexter away? The whole thing about him being vegan, and he's going to slip. Whether they give him something, it's like, oh yeah, he's vegan. He would know the difference. And what if he eats it and doesn't know? And so they're like, this is it. Now we know.
When he leaves and he goes to the hot dog stand, that he was going to turn and see somebody that was there.
Chili dogs. He gets 2 chili dogs. Yeah. Come on now. That close. Don't. He's a pro.
That's another thing. That close. But we'll get to that. So Lowell explains his next killing, which is a girl that recently lost her dog, and she's getting a tattoo of it. But he also thinks he's got a little bit of time to get to it because she's not going to be done.
Yeah, he thinks it's going to take a bunch of sessions.
And this is where Dexter comes up, and he's like, this is my next target.
And then Mia starts cracking jokes about it. So it's like, I hope he's not going to do a presentation. But he does. And this is expected. At first, I'm like, oh, what is this? But then Leon had talked about, it's like, well, maybe next time you'll be ready, telling Dexter this for your presentation. And he's like, oh, didn't know he had to do something like this. And I was like, no, not like this. But, you got to present. He wants to know how he does what he does, which is decapitation.
And then we see Harrison with Angel. And he talks to him.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go on.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, because he shows up at the hotel, and Harrison doesn't know him. He now in the prequel to all of this, Batista was headed into town. They never really crossed paths. It didn't happen here. But then Batista's like, oh, wow, Harrison, I knew your dad, and my sister babysat you when you were young, and that was a thing. That I remember that, and he talked about that life and everything going on, and just asking questions about his dad. And he's like, oh, yeah. And Harrison's like, oh, you heard, he died, and this and that. At that point, I was thinking, this is what Batista's trying to figure out. Is he BSing? Or does Harrison just think that his dad is dead? And this is where I guess his detective skills would have to kick in. It's like, is he just feeding me lines? Because he knows that his dad, at least Batista thinks that Dexter is in town and makes sense now. Oh, you're here to hang out with your son. Is that what's going on here? But that doesn't look, no, it's not happening. Not that way.
Yeah, but when Angel talks to him, he knows that he doesn't really know. He realized that.
Does he? Well, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe he's testing him because he sort of leans back and I was like, oh, really? Oh, maybe. And he says, you know what? Yeah, my condolences. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, that's tough. You lost your dad.
And I think he knows that his dad isn't dead,
but it's he knows there's some line going on because of the truck. The truck belonged to his dad. Tom Lindsay, whole thing, and he was just sold to Harrison's friend. So he could have grilled him on that. He was like, all right, so why did you skip town and sell your dad's truck to your friend? What's going on here? Hey, this is all shady. And he's like, hey, did your dad ever talk about what he did before this? And I was like, oh no. It's like, besides working, no, he didn't say anything. I'm filling in the blinks in my head. It was like just, oh yeah, I was
he was
waiting
getting
for
little
Harrison to say.
flashbacks on what he did, correct?
Yeah, we saw some flashbacks, but then he's like, no, he never told me. He never said anything. It's like, oh, all right. Well, if he does, or if you think of anything, here, give me a call. And he gives him a card. It's like, all right, fine.
Just reading through my notes here.
Yeah. So what was it? I think the next one is where we see Elsa talking to Harrison, right? Didn't they have a little conversation right before this? Yeah, we skipped over that part, but that was a quick one where she was talking about how he has to put his fake smile on to get tips. He was like, we're in the tip business and the whole thing, and he makes she brings that up again because once he walks away, he's a little upset by the whole thing. And she was like, hey, you're not putting on the face. And he just ignores her and walks away. And she looks at the guy and she realizes, oh, he's a cop. And she walks up and she's like, he didn't do it. He had nothing to do with all that. It's like, what are you talking about? The murder. The Ryan, the guy that died, the whole thing. So now Batista is again stepping into just another case. Because it's like he was here just looking for Dexter. Oh, wow. He finds Harrison. That's very interesting. Oh, wow. There was a murder that took place here. Now he needs to find out more.
But it's not that. It's when it's described. That's how he goes, oh, wait a minute. These are connected.
Yeah. But still, either way, I mean, what's the chances of your supposed friend's serial killer has a son, and then there's a murder at the son's place of employment? Yeah. I would put 2 and 2 together real quick.
But I don't think you need to be Batman, but hey.
Nope. Right? You don't need Batman. You don't need to go to your back computer and start putting pieces together. It's like, nope, it's clear as day. You stole fizzy lifty drink.
And again, this is where we go to the killers talking.
Yeah, they're having a little
powwow. I'm trying to read my notes.
It's all right. But they're having a conversation. We also find out that they all get their own phones, which makes sense. You don't want everybody using their private phones and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
So they all have phones. They're here for 2 weeks. This is not a one-off, right? There's going to be multiple meetings. This is a thing that he does. What else? Al wants to go to Ellis Island. He was like, yeah, let's hang out and do all of that. That's kind of weird, but whatever. They feel very happy and comfortable with each other because there was that one scene where they were talking about to Dexter or Red. It's like, oh, when did you know? How do you feel about it? It's like, oh, it just feels great killing people. And like, wow, I love that he's so open about it. Yeah. They feel so comfortable that they can just talk about all this stuff, and the thing is that Dexter just wants to know more. He's like, what does Leon get out of this? He's giving everybody a lot of money, and he's giving them even more money for buying some of these items, right? There's some of their trophies.
Yes, so they're all housed together.
Yeah, because Dexter did bring one trophy. Turns out it was Red's first kill. It was a license, right, of his first kill.
But I don't think he realized it was his first kill.
That's a good point. I don't know. That's a good point. I don't think
he did because he seemed shocked when they said this is from the first kill, which means that they would have been looking like they kind of know everything that's going on. And once again, like he's kind of stuck in the cold, like,
oh man, you see, Lawrence, now you just found another hole in this, because if that's the case, then they really know what he looks like. They've been watching him. And don't tell me that every time he went outside, he had a hoodie and sunglasses on. I don't. Nope, not buying it. But yeah, that means that they've been watching him long term, or maybe they were just reading in the paper, and the first recorded beheading was from that person, and they were like, okay. Either way, it's just it all comes back to how did they is Leon and Charlie? How are they finding all these people so easily? Because it doesn't look like it's that hard.
No.
At least the way they're portraying it on the show. But but he tells us we bring this up because Dexter tells Leon he wants to Mia, he wants to know more. Can they meet up afterwards? She's like, yeah, text me or something. Well, we'll meet up and I'll tell you what you want to know, because he's really curious to know more about Leon. What does he really get out of this?
All right. So as the killers are talking, And then he says, "Do you want to know what all this is?" And I'm trying to figure out what I wrote here.
You wrote a lot of stuff, but I think we did it. I think that was pretty much it, because they were just talking about all their plans and getting ready for the next. But as you mentioned before, already Dexter has in his head that the guy that he's going to kill next is the tattoo guy, is Lowell, because
he has to,
he's
gonna kill. He's gonna kill again, and he already knows the target.
Yeah, and that's what threw me off again, and that's why I brought it up before, where he gets up when they were having their little conversation. Dexter just looks off and he sees like a shadow, and it's like, oh, I have to go talk to my dad. That's in my head. And then he starts looking over to his left and starts talking. We see it. They have to see that, unless
I think it's in his head that
he's doing it. All right. Yeah, that's probably.
I think we've all done it, right?
Yeah, sure, right, Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy says hi. Yeah, he says hi. There we go. So we're all doing it here, but yeah, and then there goes that. All right, so let's see. I think that was it. Then he goes. That's when he went outside. He got the chili dogs. He saw.
But
it was like
this was one thing I gotta say. Like when they're going over it all, Charlie leaves and he makes the comment that Charlie doesn't like what I do, and I find that very interesting.
Wait, for Lowell? Wait, who Charlie doesn't like what I do? Wait,
don't you remember when he goes to take him in, and Charlie walks away, and he's like, "She doesn't like what I do. She's never going to."
Oh yeah. She's not into any of this stuff. She's clearly there for the money as well. So yeah, she doesn't. She's not one of the serial killers who just happens to be on payroll. I don't think that's her job. I think she's just security, and she's good at finding people. So,
and then there was again the whole watch thing where Harrison's trying to hide it, and I'm just like, why are you even carrying that? Why is that thing not long gone? And you see him kind of like wigging out about things, trying to adjust it. It doesn't last very long.
No, why not dispose of that? Just throw it away. No one knows. The police don't know about it because it wasn't like Ryan had a receipt from a jewelry store. No, this was all handled by Harrison. He could make it disappear, but he for some reason can't. He's hearing it tick no matter where he puts it, and then he sees Elsa, and he's like, "Hey, let's hang out. Let's go do something." And they head to her place.
Yeah, which again, I found it kind of like they have a nice connection, and they kind of start talking. First off, our house has to be all put together. I'm thinking something else. It's been a long couple of days.
Yeah. Well, so they go over there. They're watching.
Ignore that. I don't know where they came from.
All right, there you go. They're just hanging out, and then he's like, "Hey, I gotta leave. Catch a train before it gets too late." I understand that. I used to live near Coney Island. That sucked. That train ride sucked going to Stillwell because you had to wait for at least 10, 15 minutes before it pulled in the last stop. It's a nightmare. Hate it. But I get it. I don't know how far she is, but I'm assuming it's further out than from the Manhattan area. Maybe she's in Brooklyn, whatever. I don't think they ever explain it, right? He never says where, but he has to take a train. She could be uptown too. Doesn't even matter. But anyway, she says, "Hey, you can sleep on my couch." He's like, "Oh, really? Yeah. Just like you did before." It's like, and he's like, "Oh, okay, great." This is the part that bothered me of this episode. Everything was fine except this part because he plays it very cool. And he's like, "Oh, great, thank you." And out of nowhere, like leans in to kiss her. She didn't say you can spend the night with me. She said sleep on the couch. Very friendly. What signal did she give for him to make that assumption that's like, oh wow, let me make a move for a kiss right now? No.
I mean, they're hanging out. They've been talking, and she says you can sleep on the couch. But again, if it's one of those things where it's like, hey, you're more than welcome to stay here. A lot of times people are trying to gauge where their interest is. And he just leaned in. Now he kind of freaks out about it. And I do feel like they portrayed him as pretty young considering he didn't graduate. He just got his GED. and she has a 4-year-old kid, so she's a little bit older.
She could be, or definitely older in life experience in
I'm not
regards
saying
to that
old.
type of situation.
Yeah, I'm not saying old,
Yeah.
but I'm saying
Yeah,
compare. Like he seems like he's like still like 19 or so. At least that's what I'm
Trying
kind
to
of
remember.
gathering.
He was in high school in New Blood. They put him in high school. So yeah, he's definitely
Okay.
in the teens or at least early 20s, if that's the case. But yeah, she reacts. She was like, "Hey, no, listen." He's like, "No, I made a mistake. He's like, no. I get you're going through some stuff." So really quick makes it seem like maybe there is an interest there on her end, but she feels that this wouldn't be the right time with everything going on.
That's kind of what I gathered.
Yeah. Because she said, "Oh, you're a really great guy. This and that. We're friends. We're good. Or this and that." I mean, it's like night and day from signals from what he just had an encounter with Elsa, from what happens with Dexter and Mia. That was pretty much in your face right there. There is no like, oh wow, I'm not sure if she's into me, and no, this two different situations there. But yeah, so he was like, no, I gotta go. I can't. This was a mistake, and then he bolts. He gets out.
And then we turn to Dexter watching him, and I asked you the question. Wait, I asked you right about could cars just park on the side right there? Or maybe I wanted to ask you and I didn't because we were
Maybe
watching.
not. We were talking
Yeah,
about.
I asked you about the garbage before, but
Yeah, we talked about the
like,
garbage.
is there again because us people who don't live in New York, we're
You
told that
can.
New York is just packed. Cars are always packed. Oh, yeah, I asked you about how dead a street could be later on.
Yeah, later on. But in this case here, as long as he's in the car, if a cop pulls up or if one of the oh man, I'm blanking on their names, the ones that give the tickets, meter maids, if they show up, if they see you just idle there, they can tell you, hey, move. You can't park here. So if he has his hazards blinking, yeah, he's okay. As long as it's not a bus stop or anything like that. And that's what it looks like. He's still in the car. It's not like he's hanging out in the corner and the car's parked. Plus it's also on for a movie, right? It's a show TV. Because if you look when they do that one far shot, he's the only car on that side of the street.
And that's what made me think like, again, like anytime I see New York and there's no one on the streets, that's makes me. It's just I'm like, it's the city that never sleeps for a reason, because people are constantly going.
I'm telling you, you'll be surprised, especially Lower Manhattan. For those from New York, then if you do, go ahead, click that like and subscribe, give a shout out because Lower Manhattan at night on the weekends could be dead. Wall Street and all that, especially on Sundays and stuff, because there's almost nothing happening there. Very few people actually live there. It's mainly just for work.
All right.
So you could walk down all these little alleyways and streets, and there's no one around. Maybe you'll hear music from like a bar or something, but then it's just like you can walk 2 more blocks, dead. Then now you have the Seaport, and that's like a mall pretty much. So there's all this stuff happening. But yeah, just Wall Street itself and stuff. Yeah, that could be dead.
All right,
during the weekend. So it's very possible. And then there's plenty of other areas in the Village, on the west side, plenty of other streets. The point is there are places where you could just walk and you're by yourself and you're like, wow, I'm the only person here. Now, granted, there's people in the buildings that you're walking past and in apartments, all that stuff. But when it comes street level, yeah, you could easily be alone.
So would you see him call Lowell? Right.
Yeah.
And then he goes for a jog with Maya. And now he feels like he might have a connection with her. Like maybe she has a code because she's the one she goes after predators.
Mm-hmm.
She is the aggressive version of Chris Hansen.
Oh yeah. I'm Chris Hansen. Oh, that show. Oh man, that was a wild show. Those guys are crazy. But but she opens up. She explains why she does what she does. Talks about her sister Hazel. Says how was it the stepfather, the boyfriend, the mom's boyfriend was a little gave her weird looks, but then eventually got pretty handsy with her younger sister.
Yeah.
So and then they start talking about what was your first, and was it she put thumbtacks in a kid's face. he talks about wanting to kill a kid playing basketball, and they can relate. They had one of those moments, that connection. And she instantly invites him back to her Airbnb. Says she has pastries. Like, oh, because she was like, hey, I got some good stuff at the Airbnb. Pastries. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we see Dexter meeting up with Lowell.
Oh wait, not yet though. No, because if we go that far, because remember he does go to the apartment, the Airbnb. He spent some quality time, because it's getting there to the Lowell. Because while they're spending that time, she shows him her collection. She had her trophies. She carries them. Now I wonder if that was part of her show and tell. That would maybe for Leon, maybe that's what she had it with her. Because I don't know if they explained or said where she's from. She's definitely not from the city. She traveled, and she says she's been doing it for 4 years. So I think out of everyone in that group, she's the only one that's been going this long. But when they're getting into that whole thing, and then she says, you know what? I'm going to take a shower. You can go make some coffee, espresso machine. And then she goes, she gives a back look, sees that he's still staring. She goes into the shower, and then Harry comes in. He's like, what are you going to do? You're going to have a shower with a serial killer? And he's like, oh, wait. But then he gets a call, because now Lowell is ready to meet up, because that was the whole thing, right? He couldn't meet up early in the morning, not his hours. It's like, yeah, let's meet up. So what do you do? What would you do, Lawrence? Would you go and hang out with your new friend Mia, or hang out with your new friend Lowell over here?
I feel kind of dirty and sweaty and a little stinky, so I think I need to take a shower.
It makes sense. It's only fair and to do that, to go clean up, because you do have to meet up with Lowell later, right?
Yeah.
Just call and be like, hey, listen, I'm running a little late. I need to shower. I will be there in 2 clicks. And then that's it. She was even surprised by it when he was like, yeah, I gotta go.
Yep.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there was 2 different signaling here with the Morgans. Harrison is not sure about what the signals were, who chose poorly. Dexter, very strong signals, also chose poorly. But because it was funny. I mean, think about it. Because he does meet up with Lowell. And what's the first thing that Lowell wants to do? He wants to ditch him. He wants to ditch him because he was like, oh, the reason why he picked that spot is that that's the spot next to his tattoo shop. And then he sees that the person that his next victim shows up, and he's like, wow, she has a high tolerance for pain. It's not going to take all the sessions that I thought. So I'm going to have to do this tonight. Tonight is the night. Yeah. And then Dex was like, oh man, I guess I'm going to have to rush this.
So Lowell's like stalking her. Oh no, I'm sorry. We get the detective music. The detective's listening to music.
More Bee Gees,
Angel shows up to talk about the case. So this is where Angel actually meets up with the detectives. I don't know their names.
They're the detectives. One of them is Sherlock.
Yeah, and Detective Melvin Oliva, which we should probably remember because it's pretty close to our daughter's names.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
And then he talks to them a little bit, explains who he is and everything. A little bit of filler, but I guess it does give you an idea, like, hey, he's met up, so like
it ties them together now. So they're going to be working, because he was like, yeah, this is what's going on here. And we already know right before he shows up, the other detective was talking about Harrison again. And it's like, do you think he's good for it? It's like, well, location wise, yes, but for the motive and all and to be this thorough, that's almost impossible. It's like, I don't know if she said that when Batista was there or afterwards, but because later Batista brings it up again, and by putting in like, oh, it's either the same person, the Bayard Butcher, because of the 9 body parts that did this, or someone who was trained by him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Batista was there when that conversation happened. I don't think he was, because he just walked in and was like, hey, can I help you? First off, he made it this far into the precinct. So
that was my thing. Like, you're wearing that badge. If they're letting you through, I think you're going to be wearing that badge. So you have to pull it out every time.
Yeah, I mean, many years ago, I worked for the city, and I worked in a lot of precinct stuff. I had to go in and out courthouse. Every step, I had to show an ID. I couldn't just walk into the back. So he definitely showed his credentials prior to that. So maybe that's why they weren't too taken back when he just walked up to them and was like, "Hey, I'm here to help." But
so this is where we have Lowell, who's stalking the girl, and Dexter saves her and ties him up. Like, he comes up behind him. This is when I'd asked you, are the streets ever really that bare? Now, she's wearing headsets, so yeah, she's not going to hear anything. He's not, so he's not screaming because, I don't know, I don't think serial killers want to be arrested together.
It could be that. It could be also it happened so quick. That was the other thing. If it's dark, just quiet side street, yeah, it could definitely happen. She had her headphones on. She couldn't pay attention. She didn't hear anything.
No one else is around. Let's go back to Reacher, and people are just completely
bare. Oh yeah, that whole town. Nobody's there except a laundromat that's open.
Yep.
No, there's no one else in this town. And they also said it was like a college town, remember? So I was like, come on now. There's got to be a place, but whatever.
And so he nabs Lowell, and then we see him tying him up, and Lowell wakes up, and he's a little worried. He's asking what's going on. And he ends up telling him who he is, and you can tell he knows the name, and then he kills him.
Yeah. Because he knows the name. Everybody knows the Bay Harbor Butcher, but that case was never closed.
Yep.
The person just stopped killing. Like, that's from what they know. That's why I don't think the slides, again, people, if you remember, if that's what Leon said, that the slides were from the Bay Harbor Butcher, I don't think so. I don't know. But who knows? We'll see. But either way, the guy definitely knows who he is. And he was shocked. And no, he kills him. There you go. One down. Harry is pissed off. He was like, you can't do this. And even the guy said this is a rule that they're breaking. But he didn't decapitate him. He just killed him. So if anything, Dexter could play along with everything and say, hey, maybe there was another serial killer who knows about all this and wasn't invited and wants to be a party pooper. You know, he could just say that because he didn't do it. They know him as Red, who is decapitating, the dark passenger. This was a straight up, if they find the body, this tied up with the stabbing, all that's the calling card right there.
Yeah.
And then he makes his own little blood slide taken out from a piece of glass and stuff. That was pretty cool.
So we quickly get Lance confronting Harrison about the truck, and Lance is kind of going off on him. And then here comes a car, which I'm assuming the title's been given to them, and they're off on their merry way now.
But Batista shows up. Because remember, he showed up back
right after that. And he talks to him about the people, and all that other stuff.
Yeah, basically saying he knows all this stuff. He was like, I know about what's going on with your dad, and did he teach you anything or this and that? What about the guy that died here? And then, he was, from what I found out, he seems like he's a piece of crap anyway, but don't fall down his path. Don't go down that road.
No.
That your dad did. Just don't do it. Yeah, so, but he also says, and was as a key part of information here, that he did not tell any of this information to the detectives.
Nope.
So the detectives then, and this is the other issue now that I think about that, and I brought it up before that I have with this show. If they did a background check on Harrison Morgan, then they know about his dad, at least that he was part of Miami PD. Not all the conspiracy stuff, but that he was part of Miami PD and the family and all the stuff that happened. His mom being found murdered by the Trinity killer. I mean, there's things to tie Harrison into that part of the universe here, the Dexter universe. And the detective, no. I guess they just never looked him up. They're just going based off of visuals. Oh, he was here, he was there. That's it. Do you want to run him through the system? Nah.
Yep, and I get that. But anyway, as we move on, as we're almost done, guys. So just bear with us.
Yeah, we're almost there.
So Lance confronts Harrison about the car. So Lance is another guy he's working with. He sold him the car, and then now it's probably got impounded, more than likely anything. But we can have the Thunderbolts, the new Avengers, or actually just Avengers. I'm out of it.
Yeah. See, there we go. It's going on, and then right before that, after that, with Batista, he walks out. He goes walking the streets. He starts thinking about all this stuff. He starts hearing voices of Batista telling him he's very conflicted right now with this whole thing. He doesn't know what to do. Should he just move on with his life? But he can't. And shout out to the 212 area code. Oh man,
well, that's what you saw.
That was a big deal for me because 212 is one of the earlier numbers. Just like there's your area code number, every code. There we go. 212 was the original. That was it. I have a buddy of mine who had that on his landline and was once they started doing cell phones, they let him port over his landline. And till this day, he has that on his cell phone. Now, apparently, you could go and you can get an old one now because at a certain point they recollect these numbers and then they can recirculate after a few years, something like that. But man, that was a callback because you see him take out the card for the detective, and then he starts dialing the 212 number, and I was like, wow, here we go, bringing it back. It's a great catch right there, just to link up with the writers and putting that together. That made perfect sense. It's a really old number, so I was proud of that. But then he decides not to. Instead, he wants to go in person. He's walking to the police station, and I was like, oh wow, is this gonna happen? But no, he stops. And Dexter's right there and says, no, you can't do this. And he's like, Dad? And then it's over. So it's like, wow, it happened. I did not think it was going to happen this soon. Yes, shout out. I had somebody in the comments said, hey, we saw it in the trailer and all this stuff. And yeah, they could splice things together. We saw a lot of fast splices of Harrison talking to Dexter that was from New Blood. But yeah, they there you go. They reunite. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back and then Harrison is in shock, doesn't believe it, and then goes running off, and that's how that ends. It's like, no, you can't be here.
He's in shock. He goes running off and gets hit by a car.
And it's like, okay, no. Well. Oh no, you see that was damn right. It's like no. But yeah, no, that's it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here.
And that's how it ends. And if you're still I just want to say I'm extremely tired, and I don't know why I've kind of bounced out.
You are zoning out. It is 4:30 in the morning.
I'm wondering how you I don't know how I went into Avengers here.
Coffee. I'm drinking a lot of coffee. Okay. That's
so
what's going on.
I don't know what you were thinking when you heard me rambling on about nothing.
You said Avengers, Thunderbolts.
I did something earlier too. I'm like, I'm starting to doze off, and
you
yet
I'm zoning like, I'm out. Yeah, but yeah, so
it's been a long day for me.
Yeah,
we're an hour difference, just so you know. Like it's an hour later for me.
Yeah,
and I
apologize.
I hope it makes someone laugh by going, "What the hell is this guy talking about?"
He's just rambling.
Now I need to go back and watch it.
I think I said it, and here's a fun one for you people. I was doing a live stream of another show many years ago. I had a guest on, and the guest was nervous and said, "Hey, can I drink?" I was like, "Yeah, go ahead, drink," and got pissed drunk and started slurring. I was like, oh, and on camera. And then there was a panel with a bunch of other people. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to mute him. And I mute him, but you could see him swaying all over on camera, left and right. I was waiting for him just to fall forward. If it was live, I'm sure people would have been cracking up.
Well, I promise you I was not drinking.
No, you're not drinking. But it's going to be interesting. But this is my theory here. Again, people, I did not watch any of the teasers, and this is the closing right here. I'm just thinking that Batista is going to work alongside Dexter and Harrison, and they're going to work together to bring down this whole serial killer group. That's my thought. That they're going to work together. I don't think they're going to bring the other detective, the Sherlock Holmes group. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be Batista, Morgan, Harrison. They're going to work together. That's what I'm thinking. Any thoughts on that?
I told you. I think this season is. I think it's going to be one of those things where Dexter does his thing. more killers end up gone, and then we're going to get a final season of Dexter where it's going to be all about Batista trying to take him down. And I mentioned this, like, I mean, again, I just watched finished Justified again a couple weeks ago, and I feel like it's following that format that, like, and it would wrap it up really nicely, in my opinion.
Yes. All right. We'll see. But speaking of wrapping up, we're wrapping this up. Thanks again for tuning in. Again, like you said, if you made it this far, give yourself an applause. This is a long form. Some people skip through. Some people get just at certain parts. We get it. Thank you. Just if you're interested, then stick around. Subscribe. We got some other shows that we're working on coming down the pipeline. We got the Terminalist, Dark Wolf. That's a fantastic one we're looking forward to covering. And a few other ones. So we will be back next week. So talk to you then, everybody. Peace.
Take
I'm
care.
Adam. He's Lawrence. Later.